Hey, Mai. What should I pack?
Don't bring anything you can't run with. Packing light would be the smartest move.
I can't decide what to take.
Well, money or food, for example. No harm in bringing that. But it's limited to what fits in your bag. If we're being chased, we need to be able to run, right?
I see. Got it.
I don't have much in terms of luggage. Perhaps we should save this conversation for our room?
Well, the maids are making the rounds right now.
Then what do you propose?
Somewhere we won't be overheard, which is surprisingly hard around here.
If no one's nearby, this'll do fine.
Alright. There seems to be no one around.
I guess this is as safe as anywhere.
Elizabeth, if we do not hurry, the headmistress will be furious. I know, but take it easy. Goodness, setting the table is tiresome. Wait, is that Roddy? And the newcomer, Mai? What's wrong? Quiet! Let's hide over there. Hey, if we don't hurry, the headmistress will have our heads. Seems like Roddy's been sneaking around with those troublemakers. What do you think they're up to?
Tomorrow night we'll leave town. Finish packing by then.
Right. I'll have everything sorted.
Hey, Mercy. You heard them say leave town, didn't you?
Did they?
That's right. I definitely heard it. Scandalous. Oh, Mercy. We can't stay here. We have to prepare as well. Prepare? Prepare for what? Are you paying attention? We're following those three when they skip town. I've always thought I was destined for bigger things than a small town. Doesn't the city life suit me? What? You can't just up and leave. Besides, we'll be punished. What are you saying? We're never coming back, so who cares if we upset the faculty? But... Mercy, do you want to stay in this dead-end town for the rest of your life? I refuse. I'll rot if I stay here. Please, Mercy. If you love me, won't you join me in starting a new life? Okay, then. I knew you'd come around, Mercy. I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, let's get out of here. Mercy, turn back and enter the cafeteria from the back entrance.
Okay.
That's it. That's all we need to do.
Okay, got it.
I'll be sure to gather my belongings too.
Oh, that's right. Hang on a second, you two.
What's up, Mai?
Yes, Mai. What is it?
About tonight. I told Shina I'd search the shopping district with her.
The shopping district? How come?
Is something there?
We might get a possible connection signal out there. She was hoping to get in contact with someone.
I see. So she's trying to communicate with someone using a phone or computer.
I know those! Mai told me all about them. Let's see. They're magic tools, right?
Liliana, Shina said she could get in contact with someone with her device, which is why we need that signal. I think Shina has an urgent message for whoever's waiting for her on the outside.
Oh, I see.
Are you two ignoring me again? Meanies? It is magic, right?
Yeah, sure it is.
Yes, something like that.
Thanks for nothing.
Either way, I'm helping her look for that signal. Since we're planning a big escape, we should stick together. But I won't force you to come.
Okay, leave it to us, Mai.
Yes, we'll be right behind you.
Thanks, you two.
Hey, Mai!
Yeah, Roddy?
What do you mean by signal?
How do you... You have to know what a signal is, right?
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mai and Rotti. You're safe, Liliana. Sorry for asking you to look for a signal with us. It's quite alright. I want to stick by you as much as I can. You're so brave, Liliana. Oh, but so am I, Mai. Okay, listen closely. We're searching for something called a signal to help Shina. Miss Shina? You have me though. Drop it. Oh. When we leave town tomorrow, Shina's gonna help us, so tonight we're helping her. It's not like Shina's mission was unrelated to our cause. Getting in contact with someone on the outside, if possible, could only help us. We had to help Shina when possible. I hope we'll be able to connect somehow with the signal. Yes, if we can help even the tiniest bit. Oh, here she is. You're late. Sorry, I took some time getting ready. Shina came just after midnight. It couldn't be helped. She's on call and her house is a ways from the dorm. Rotty will accompany us to find the signal. That's okay, right? Yes, of course. It's best for us all to stick together, even for a short while. Miss Shina, are you tired at all? You must be working so hard. No, I'm wide awake. You look tired to me as well, Miss Shina. What? You're not feeling well? Should we cancel tonight? No, really, I'm fine. Let's hurry up and find the signal, okay? Do it tomorrow when you got some rest instead of pushing yourself tonight. Absolutely not. We need to get out of here as soon as possible. Right, of course. We won't argue with that, but you're still gonna look tonight, aren't you, Shina? Yes, quickly now. Okay, everyone, we'll depart tomorrow, but first, let's find that signal. And we have our mission for our night today. We need to go find that signal. Well, find somewhere to get signal for Shina so she can send out her distress call. That's basically what it is. The shopping district. That's amazing, Shina. You even know where you can get reception? I guess you're not a world-class spy for nothing. What? Me? A spy? That sounds good. A world-class agent. But it's amazing you can tell where the reception is. Of course, but I was just saying my hunch. Anyways, let's go to the shopping district. Oh, fuck. That's a shot. There's a shot. I take one every time to do it. But anyway, as per usual, we're going the wrong way first for optional dialogue. So going north. Shina, does this creepy town not bother you? I'm fine. It's kind of like an RPG world. She's not gonna know what that is. RPG? Yeah, she's not gonna know what that is. And I get to walk around with cute girls. It's awesome. Shina liking and being around cuties is a little bit more exaggerated this time around than before. You sure seem to be in a good mood. It's more exaggerated in this game than it was the first game. Anything good happen? Considering we're about to find reception and get in contact soon, I can't help it. I see. I hope the message gets through. Continuing onwards. What a creepy place. Not a place to visit at night. It's an open space, but the air is pretty warm, and I can't help but feel like we're being watched. Don't scare me. You're so cute when you're scared. Just shut up. Let's hurry out of here. Right, going the other way. Liliana, watch out. Ah! That was a close one. Shina? What is it, Liliana? I'm fine now, so if you could, let me go? Just a little longer. It's like cuddling her like a teddy. And I want to keep holding you. Calm down, Shina. Put the lolly down. Hey, Shina. You came from Japan, right? Yeah? Why? There's no technology goods in this town. Aren't you bored? Especially being, you know, a game designer. You have a point. There's no video game, TV. Oh, but there's so many cute girls around. I'm fine. I'm so happy. Case in point. Is that So... Like, it was a part in Death End 1, but they just exaggerated a little bit more in this one. Shina, what do you think about this town? This is the second question Rotzi's asked about the town towards Shina. It's dark, creepy, a town I'd rather not go to. Why was Mizunashii here anyways? I agree, I want to get out of this town as soon as possible. Yes, I'd like to get out as well. Let's hurry up and find reception and get out. And that's it. So, of course, if it also marking as the beginning of a new chapter, because the chapter ended when Liliana's mother died, we have new things sold in the shop, which you're going to see me buy and then forget to equip for like another 20 minutes. It'll be like halfway through, like the shop, going back through the shopping visit, the shopping district second visit even. Because just like the first game, you're going to spend a decent chunk of the second half revisiting areas of the first game, but with harder enemies in different parts of it now available. But it's better handled than it was in the first one. In the first game, it was just like this random wall, and it's like, okay, you can't go here yet. And although they do walls here too, they have more plot-convenient things around that help express it better. And no area becomes a maze like the second visit to the Heartist Palace does. And no area has any of the random walls that just exist like the Heartist Palace second visit had. Where you're likely to just lose your bearings and get lost solely because you didn't trigger a random event that made some random door unlock itself. But anyway, go over here. You don't have to. I'm just more for optional dialogues. It's a new chapter, so there's new things that everyone has to say. So I position the camera and off we go. Hey, don't you find Mabiba spiders interesting? What are they? Yeah, I don't know what they are either. Please enlighten us, Rossi. You know, Mabiba spiders. Everyone plays it. Plays what? Never heard of it. Is it fun? Fun? What do you mean, Mai? They're delicious. What? What? Delicious? What in the world are they? And then the conversation ends. Hey, Rotti, any reason why you never seem to leave me alone? Ouch. Don't be rude. It's not like I'm your dog. Sorry, I bet that was hurtful. But how can I resist when you're always wagging your tail like that? Alright, Mai, now you're just teasing her. You know what you're doing. That's worse! Anyway, I've been wondering if you do the same for anyone else. Oh, you worried that she might have feelings for someone other than you. Now you're ignoring me? Well, to answer your question, I only do so for you. I only feel this way about you, Mai. I mean, sure, I've had other close friends. I see. You're the only one I follow, Mai. Don't worry. Aw. Mai, look! A car! Rotti, I didn't take you for a car enthusiast. I'm not! You just don't see many cars around here. It seemed out of place. I think I've been in cars before, but the memory is from so long ago, when I was a little girl. It's been a while since I left this town. Well, you're in for a treat when we leave. Interesting. When you do eventually leave, I'm sure the outside world will astound you. You gotta show her the way. In other cities, there are cars everywhere. Some streets are filled with hundreds as far as you can see. It's why I like being at a seaside town. It's not that busy with cars. You have to go into the town centre if you want it to get bigger, like remotely busy. Brace yourself. I'm scared. Hey, Mai, if we ever make it out of here, I want to see the world with you. I know this isn't an extra dialogue, but I like that line, that her only intent focus when she leaves is just be by my side. Like, even putting aside all the puppy love shit, like, she genuinely just loves being around Mai. It's so wholesome. It's a word that's overused, but it's still true. Even if it wasn't just my father it happened to. But now my mother. You can't blame yourself, okay? It's not your fault. You did well, Liliana. You're right. It's all the devil's fault. The devil's... Devil. Liliana, calm down. I'm so sorry. It's okay. Rotty and I are here. And Mai's including Rotty when she's saying we're here, when before she was like, oh, and Rotty, I guess. Sanae. I hope you find her. How fortunate for Sanae that she has a sister who loves her so. If only I were your little sister. Were you an only child? No, I had an older sister, but she passed away when I was young. Fuck! She can't have anything nice! Oh, sorry for asking. Both her parents got possessed by demons. Her grandparents killed themselves, and her sister or sibling died when she was super young. So I do remember it since it was so long ago. Well, both Rotty and I consider you family. Which is a good message to send. Family isn't by blood. Family is the people you would risk the world for. The people you love. Mai, when you get out, is there somewhere you'd like to go? Not really. For me, Sanae was everything. I suppose the thought of having to be running away from here is painful. I can't ever leave this place. Not until I find her. Sanae, where are you? It'll be okay. As soon as we leave town, we'll call the police. I'm sure they'll help. Oh, you're right. Sorry, Liliana. I sank a bit there. Rotty and I will pull you out every time. Thanks. I'm exhausted. I could fall asleep at any moment. I think that's the end of the... Yeah, it is. Alright. Hey, Shina. What have you got to say? With your dead stare, because for some reason you don't blink. Hey, Shina. Aside from programmers, what kind of people work at your company? Well, I'm a director. Werner is our president, Rin is our head manager, Munakata works in sales, and our character designer... Huh? What was it again? Something wrong, Shina? I thought there was a character designer that I was close with, but I can't recall her name. Huh? That's strange. You're weird, Shina. Isn't it, though? What's going on in my memories? Well, it's what the extra scenes have been alluding to, and if you played the first game, you already know who she's referring to. Hey, Shina, you have a crush on Arata Mizunari, don't you? What? That's... come on. Mizunari and me? Your face says it all. You do like him, don't you? Honestly, I don't care. But it seems like he's slow to pick it up. Make the first move, or he'll never know. I know. He can be oblivious. There it is. There's a confession. She does like him. Mizunari and I aren't like that. We're just colleagues, a director and a programmer. Yeah, nice recovery. Sure. Mine's not daft. She can read that shit. And that's the end of that. Shina doesn't have that much to say, probably because like the costume's DLC, so it's just little extra tidbits. It's not like Rapuka where it leads to an alternate ending in the first game. Like, they don't do that at all. And there's no DLC areas in this game, so it is just a straight journey from beginning to end. But it makes me curious about how long this project will be in comparison to the first game. Nighttime creeps me out, as usual. Hey, Miss Shina, are we really going to find a shingle out here? Rotty, it's not a shingle, it's a signal. You're just so cute, aren't you? Yeah, she is. Aww. I was like the only real like zoom in on the 3D model we get. Anyway, the signal should be around here, so let's look. Indeed. I like that cutscene's from Shina's like eyes. But she's because she's just a little bit taller than everyone, and they just kind of crouched down. The Rotty'd be like, you're so cute. Because this is now the second visit, expect new loot. There'll be new treasure chests around the gaff that you'll be looking for, and there are 4 side quests to do here. All of them you can do today, so get them done today. There isn't any that will be done later in the chapter. All of them can be done on this night. So do it. You don't need to grind out an enemy. There's 6 Riddick Gigases that you need to kill, but if you're just going through and fight every enemy you go through, there's at least 6 guaranteed Riddick Gigas spawns. And although I don't get it, there is a chance that the Riddick Giga spawn will spawn in with 4 of them. Like there's a variant encounter that will have 4 of them in the encounter. So getting 6 of them won't take you any time at all. There's an optional boss that isn't on the field naturally because it's a big enemy and this area is just not big enough to fit it. And so I will show you exactly what spawn to go to have it appear, and it's appeared at that same spot every single time I've gone through. So although I can't technically say it's 100% guaranteed, I can at least say it's consistent in that spot for me. You also need to be killing these little green dudes with the skulls because you need one of them, and only one, to drop its quest loot. And of course they have low drops, so I don't get any from this encounter, but the very next one I encountered does drop one. Like the fact there's 3 of them here. Oh, and a Riddick Gigas. All 3 of these guys don't drop a single one. The annoying thing with the Riddick Gigas is, and it's something that I've been talking about has applied to most Gigases, but it becomes more prominent with every encounter you come across, it's the overinflated health. These guys have like 1 defense point on 1 magic defense point, so you're hitting them for max damage every single time. But this thing has like nigh on 600,000 health, and you're seeing, look how much damage. Like the only reason it took 130,000 is because it hit a mine. If there wasn't any mines here, you're just wasting through. So this is the only Riddick Gigas you're going to see me fight, I think. Because they just win, especially when there's one where there isn't mines around, because it's only a chance that like these mines would have been around. You're just beating the thing around the room like 6 laps until it eventually goes down. Because look at this fucking thing, it's still got so much health. And I double check what element it's weak to. It's sun, so it's weak to moon. Which is great because we got Liliana, and Liliana's going to start getting better and better as it goes on now. Also around this time, we're approaching the point where Liliana's going to get a skill through leveling, which if you use, will get her physical double. Or Physdouble, or however this game calls it. But basically it's literally what it says. It's the physical damage boost I've been on about a few times now. Where Rotti gets the magic boost and Mai gets the complete damage boost. Because she's main character property. Oh, she doesn't get it from this fight. I was trying to work out when she gets it. She probably gets it at level 50 then. But it is very soon. There's also new walls around for the curse balls, so keep an eye out for them. And then make sure to come back and open them all. Also, yeah, I've yet to actually equip the stuff we brought. It is coming up though. When I come back with the curse ball and get that, I get a piece of like an accessory, I think. And from there I go back through and check my weapons and check my gear and stuff, and like, oh right, yeah, I need to actually upgrade everything to the stuff I brought. Going around here, there is a new enemy, and this enemy's a one-of-a-kind kind of deal. Like, you're not likely to encounter this enemy again after you fight it here. So it's almost like a mini-boss, but there's no quest tied to it, there's no real unique loot tied to it. It's just a one-off, like, rare enemy kind of thing that's always here. Additionally, a new glitch spot will be introduced in this bit, and it's one that you're going to see more so this chapter, because, you know, it's introducing it, but then beyond here, not too much. It's those gold ones. They're invincibilities. You touch them, your character will have invincibility for the rest of that turn. And it will end, every time I say till the end of the turn, it doesn't actually end when it's the whole group-wide turn. It ends the next time your character takes an action. But there's Liliana getting deranged whirl, and everyone else that I'm not using getting a skill as well, so I kind of just skip through it. Like I keep saying, I will be completely refraining from using any of them for the main adventure. I might show them off when I go to the pain area in post-game, but that's a huge might because I know I've already said it, but it's worth repeating. The pain area in Death End 2 is eons harder than the pain area in the first game. The pain area in the first game was just a giant time killer. This one is every single fight you have to kind of give it your all. Especially on the later floors, you're going to see me go back to save after every single fight. And what's worse is that unlike in the first game, you can't leave. In the first game, every half floor you could leave and you could just spend some of the NE to get back into that point. You don't have that access. They completely got rid of that ability in this. Meaning if you want to leave, you're starting from the beginning. So if you go in to do it, you're committing, which is why they're so plentiful with save points throughout. because you really have to commit and just push onwards through it. And some of the fights, my goodness, like, I don't think it's going to be only 5 videos, because some of the fights drag, and because they're all mandatory fights, and there's cutscenes in there. They added cutscenes to Death End 2's pain area that goes nowhere just to jump the gun. Like, it has nothing to do with this game's plot, and it's probably more just sequel bait. Or this is me remembering the bracelets, and then like a second later I go, hang on a minute, didn't I buy new weapons as well? Wait, and then I go back and check again. But there's cutscenes in there as well that I swear to God is just sequel bait in the finest form, because you learn absolutely nothing. You just meet this stranger who chats the shit for a bit, walks off, and then like, that's it. And then you bump into him 2 more times along the way, and he does the exact same thing. But this is me getting Physio Double, or Fizzy Double, for Liliana. So now the only skill left at this point that you need, or I would recommend getting for your party before you tackle the pain area in post game, is that there's one more skill Liliana can learn that she has yet to, where she can give herself invincibility. The pattern you're going to find yourself making is that a lot, especially on the later fights, the enemies will let you go first, but they will one-shot you afterwards unless you're in a glitch form. So what you do is, on Liliana's turn, you start the buffing procedure, but you make her invincible as her last action. So if anyone does die, like if they try and go for a team wipe, they physically can't. Like, you lock them out of that option, and then you just rebuild until you get everyone in a glitch form and buffed, and then the rest you just rinse and repeat. It's hard to find. I wonder if it really is in this town. I'm sure there is, so bear with me just a little longer, okay? Oh, there's an enemy coming. I don't mind. Thanks, Mai. Bringing up the map is always a surefire way of avoiding encounters. Let's try going deeper. There's another unique enemy, so we get to fight it. I'm glad that because of the chaptered structure and how much smaller the scale is, there's a lot more unique enemies more constantly. Like in any other game I've played, whether it's an Idea Factory game or a Final Fantasy, there's been points where it's just a giant chunk of the game, or maybe even like a whole dungeon, where every single enemy within it we've fought before. Neptunia was kind of the worst offender because that game's got so many dungeons and only so many enemies. So when we was going through Net 4 or Net V2R even, there was a couple dungeons, especially later in the adventure, where it's like I had one unique encounter at the start and the rest of them we'd already fought. So it was like whole dungeons of us just running around listening to the same piece of the music. And I'm still optimistic we'll get a 5th game at some point, even if the game that they fucking put a 5 on its title is just another re-release of the original game with extra bells and whistles. Which I suppose when I eventually upgrade to PS5, because full disclosure, I'm not doing it at launch. I'm definitely interested, and I'll definitely do it eventually, but I'm in no rush. Anything I want is still going to be on PS4. Like, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD is going to be on PS4. The next Data Live game is going to be on PS4, which I'm looking forward to live streaming. I'm curious if there is a Death End 3, if that will be on PS5 or still PS4. Like, whether it's going to be a Persona 4 deal where they keep it on this console because they used the engine, or if they do try and make the jump with it. Personally, I know it will harm sales, so there's a part of me that's like, put it on PS5 to try and mitigate that, because releasing games on older platforms when the newer ones are out are infamous for butchering sales. But at the same time, there's a part of me that wants it on PS4 just because they've proven they're comfortable with this engine already. So why stray from what you're comfortable with and risk it causing more problems, if that makes sense? Net 5 I think should be on PS5, and if they ever do a sequel to Dragonstar, I think that should be on PS5. Introducing the next step of the PC mode and the last part of the PC's gimmicks. Sometimes you will find codes on walls tucked away out of sight that can be used to open doors. As we just saw there, we got 37564. They are the same on every playthrough, so if it helps at all, write them down. So if you're going through on New Game Plus, or if you're trying to speedrun it, you don't have to check the PC every time. You can just run straight to it and go, okay, that and that. I do have a notebook for the pain area, because the pain area has a few of them too, and apparently pain area is kind of mean with it. The pain area has a few instances where they give you like 3 codes for the next 3 doors at the same time, and then just ask you to remember all 3 of them. Okay, I have a feeling it's around here, but that's only a hunch. Whoa, you're a mage? I wish you could teach me magic. You won't be able to do it, Rotty. You're dumb. That's just mean. That's messed up, Mai. Cheer up, Rotty. Let's go look. That's just so harsh. Oh, what am I checking? Oh, what side quests I've got left. We managed to pick up the cursed skin, so the other 3 need to be done here. The cursed skin we got from this. Liliana learns Aster League, and we end up not using it this part. And Aster League is that skill. Is the skill that Celica had in the first game that made it OP as shit in the first game. But no, they have nerfed it. It's nowhere near as broken as it used to be. It's still quite powerful in the right hands, and with physical booster you can get a lot of damage out of it, but it is nowhere near as broken as it used to be. You can't, especially because buffs don't last outside the fight, like in the first game. In the first game, any buff or nerf would carry on into the field. This doesn't happen, so you can't just walk around with an attack boost and a star boost and then just Aster League 3 times everything that comes your way and whip out thousands of damage all the time. It just won't let you. Which is probably like, so I can imagine some of the changes, like making it so buffs and debuffs no longer carry outside of the fight. I can imagine that was solely there to balance out it, because it was kind of insane what you could do. The only thing that carries over is poison, which is self-explanatory because it's poison. You take chip damage per step when you're poisoned outside in the field.
Something's here.
Also, you get a macabre cleaver, a new weapon, which is oddly defensive. Like, you look at the defense boost, 125 to both. Like, I equip it because the stats are too good to turn down, but it's a weapon, and so the defense boost seems kind of wild. As we persevere on, we've got a couple new encounters around here. The only one of real interest is the optional boss that is tied to a different encounter, which I'll be showing later on. Oh, and I left this dialogue in because it's Rossi like, hey, didn't I look like a beautiful butterfly? And he's like, well, you look more like a mosquito, if I'm honest. These are rude. Also, if you do decide to use the data clone characters, some of their more OP skills, like Quake Shatterer, they learn through leveling. Also, we just picked up the collection quest item. It's always there, so make sure to nab it while you're there. The hairball. Also, these pink ones, they are damage floors, but they're not the corruption. They're not mines, but they are damage floors. They will hurt you slightly when you step on them. But the main reason why you'd be tempted to is because they don't do that much damage. First of all, they barely do any. As you can see as I'm running through it, look how many I hit before it started to be worrying to my health. It's a free 10% to your glitch form, and they're always everywhere when they show up. And the fact that there's invincibility marks as well, like the gold ones, means just nab them first, and then it's a bunch of free 10%. It's basically free glitch modes when the corruption spots aren't around. And I'm glad they got rid of glitch resistance. They just completely ditched glitch resistance in this game. I'm so glad. Because that was, I got why they did it. It was to try and balance it out so you couldn't just glitch form when you're already over leveled on enemies. Like if you stepped on something that's supposed to give you 10%, but using an area you were 10 levels above, it would give you like 1%. But I'm so glad they got rid of it and instead just made it each glitch form is a lot more controlled of how much glitch form they give you, but it's more consistent because of it. Because it always felt like there was a contradiction in numbers. Here's that boss, by the way. It's always at this spawn here, where like a normal optional dialogue would be when you run past. It's on this dude. If you can counter it, this enemy goes with it. And it's just because this enemy's too big to be on its own, so they have it like this. And you're going to see me be tempted. It's like, I could go with a Physio Double and then some Robert Glares. Or Glare Terre. And just watch one of the things. One of the things gets launched. Look at it, it goes, pew, and off it goes. It gets, like, the boss whacks it, and so it just flies off. Unfortunately, he caught, like, every single other invincibility square by the looks of it. So everyone else just kind of has to survive. Mai has a counter as well, where if she uses her ultimate in a glitch form, it will give her invincibility too. Which is nice, but it also means that, as far as I'm aware, Rossi's the only character who can't give herself invincibility in any form or fashion. Meaning Rossi, especially when it comes to the pain area, becomes your most vulnerable character, because she's the only one who can't make herself live forever, basically. Like with Mai, well, firstly, Mai, you're probably not going to be using it, because in the pain area is where my strategy I always talk about of actually keeping glitch mode starts to really take effect. Because the stat boost you get with it, sometimes it's literally the only way to do decent damage. When some of the enemies' defense and magic defense are over 10,000, the only way you're hurting them is lowering their defense, boosting your attack, having the attack booster or magic booster that does it 1.5 times, and hitting their weakness in glitch form. That you have to tick all those boxes just to get a decent amount of damage done. And then hope that you can bounce them off a wall while you're at it. But this boss really isn't that bad, and it's like, there's a thing with this game. From this point onwards, up until like the next real major boss, the game's going to kind of domino into itself. You're going to have so many skills at your disposal and so many things available to you that any new challenge that comes your way is kind of going to fall apart in front of you. And the next major boss will introduce something returning from Death End 1, which I'm glad they make a lot clearer than it was in Death End 1, but it's still annoying. But which can make that fight challenging. But then even after that, it will continue to kind of domino in on itself. This game, like, this is why I've said, like, early game can be a little easy, but it does get tougher. But then once you get used to it, it's not too bad. But this game is going to start just collapsing in on itself with its difficulty as it goes on. The final boss, without jumping the gun too much, will catch you out if you're not prepared. And there is an alternate ending to losing that fight, but that's for later on. When it comes to that point, I won't treat it like a death end, like I would do, like with, you know, the death ends. I will show off the true ending and then show off the bad ending in a different video. Like later on, I'll say like, oh, and here's an extra bit. But we defeated that boss. We got yet another cursed skin because, you know, we only needed one, but sure, give us another one. And now the only quest we've got left to do is kill another Riddick Gigas, which I end up finding 2 before the next save point. So I think that kind of proves my point. Like, I don't go back for any encounters. I just keep on pressing onwards, and I encountered 7. But the X9000 is now available.
How is it?
It's a similar deal with the macabre blade that we got for Mai earlier, where it's more defensive focused. Like, all the weapons in this chapter are more defensive focused. Liliana's one can be got here as well, and I'm going to level with you right now. The one you buy in the shop's better, so don't worry about it too much. We're walking away from it now. We need another curse ball to open that, and the treasure chest is around there. But it's alright, it's just not great. And we're at a point now where your priority should be trying to boost Liliana's damage, not her defense, because her defense is going to start catching up nicely. And see, now it's done. Hang on, after I'm confused. I said 5 out of 6 before, and then after that one encounter it said 7. I'm pretty sure there was only 1 in that encounter. But there's your next code, sitting on that wall over there. If they're hard to see, kind of swivel the camera around to a different spot. Like, it does feel like if you're looking at it at certain angles, the numbers blur more. Like, I don't know how that is or why that works. It's just how it seems to be. Right, now I assumed that I had fought this thing before, so you're going to see me race through this encounter. But when I was going back through my recording, I was like, oh wait, I never actually did fight this thing. This was my first time fighting that enemy. So I had to keep it in. But you're going to basically see what I do when it's a fight I'm pretty sure I'm going to be editing out. I just race through it and just skip the animations. Because the thing's already dead. Like, literally, I just race through, beat the shit out of everything in my way, and get a move on. So I can get back to actually recording footage. But yeah, that enemy, I might, if we bump into it again, I might show it off properly that time, because, you know, I just raced through it there. But that was the first time fighting that thing. But you want to keep on going this way instead of advancing the plot, because there's a save point here, so you can just use that to turn in all your side quests so you don't miss out on any dialogue on the next day. See, you get a spell sword ring, some magic, an ornament, some more ornaments, and then you're all good. The curse will be found. Going back over here will get you that weapon I was on about for Liliana.
Something's here.
The Emilumbat. But as you can see, like, it's just not that great. Anyway, next time on Death End Request 2, we're going to continue that search for Shina's signal. And hopefully we'll find it over by that flag. But until then, you guys take care now.